Welcome into episode. What are we on? 205?
It says it right there, 205.
There you go. Episode 205. So I looked up because Jeff's up on the side with the video, camera, and everything. I said, and I know he does the thumbnails for me. So I was like, what episode is it? He'll remember. Hopefully, everybody's having a great night and a great evening and hopefully a good week. So, anyway. So don't forget, we are recording this as a podcast as well, so you can always listen to it later, or if you listen to it, you can come watch it, because we're going to have some visuals later. We're going to talk about, some Bronco builds and what they, revealed over the weekend at Woodward and everything. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and So and then we actually have a special guest coming on.
Oh, we do?
Yes, we do.
I don't even know this.
So yes,
It's the first I'm hearing.
Yep, special guest coming on. He's going to talk about it too. So I kind of want to get his opinion on it, and maybe two. Might be a tandem team. Anyway,
Interesting.
they know a little bit about Bronco.
Okay, that's multiple people.
Come on now. Anyway, so we might have Dave and Kelly showing up for All Train Nation.
Okay, that's where my mind was going, but there's a couple other people that can fit that description.
So we can have some fun with that. So we'll talk about that a little bit this after or later, top of the hour probably, or top of the next hour, bottom of this hour. Anyway, we usually get through everything in about an hour and then get into the topic. So that's kind of the goal there. That's when he'll be arriving in the virtual green room. We'll get him in here, and but anyway, yeah. So, but in the meantime, don't forget, make sure you subscribe and everything, do all the good stuff. Actually, go through this. Actually, talk about this and go through this. And actually, we need to do this. I forgot to do. I don't know if Niles is in here, but he recommended that we go through and kind of go through like how to see the different content and everything else, and all the different types of videos that you can see as a member. But anyway, let's talk about this and go through this real quick. Don't forget, make sure to subscribe. You can do that right there. Hit that notification bell. Hit all. That means you get notified of everything. And then, of course, there you can also join a membership. Learn a little bit about it. Before you join, there's two different tiers: All McArthur Crew and a Coffee Time. Just click that join button on either one there, and that's how you would join that. Now, if you happen to be a member of the basic tier before we went into the other one, you can upgrade by hitting that upgrade button under the membership tab. And then you can upgrade to the Coffee Time tier if you want to. So we have a lot of fun on the Coffee Time tier. Every morning I give you a little video, and we have some fun with that. And there you can kind of see some of the other content you can always find under the membership tab and everything. But it's all right there. So there you go. But there you go. How's everything doing? Everything good? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So that's how you do that. And then, of course, I feel like we have a lot of member content that we provide. So we do a lot walk almost every Thursday, and then a member live stream on Wednesday, just kind of a chat session. We get in there and just have some fun. Normally don't have a lot of like things on the topic or anything like that. We just chat, just see how everybody's doing. And then we do other content too. Now, Coffee Time tier does get a daily video from me talking about what's more personal. Like, hey, here's what's going on today. Did I accomplish everything I planned to do yesterday? And if not, we need to do a little more. We need to do this or this today. A lot of times they know about videos that are coming before they come out. So they'll know, hey, this vehicle just got here, and I'm going to do a video today on it. And so they get to see that. So it's kind of a daily like journal in the sense of what's going on. It is a vlog, a daily vlog of what Tim's up to, and it's a very it's like no planned script or anything. So I just pick the camera up and start talking. So anyway,
literally, he goes, "I need to record." Picks up the camera and starts recording. Most of the time, he's like, "Oh, gotta grab the coffee. I forgot it."
Yeah. One day they got a little lot walk because I was outside and said, well, I got to head to the back. So let's walk and talk. Let's accomplish two things here. I walk to the back while I get this going. So anyway, all right. So this weekend though, what all we do? Actually, we hung out together one day.
Yeah. We went and saw your family.
So, yep, my family. I went and saw my family. My aunt turned 85. So,
Yes.
lots of the family got together on my mom's side in Belleville, Kansas. And we
I haven't seen them in a long
I
time.
hadn't seen a lot of them in a long time. So, it was really nice catching up with them and hanging out with them. I think the thing was from 2 to 4, and we got there at 2:30 and we stayed till like 5.
Yeah.
So it was past 4, but it was good catching up with them. So yeah, it was fun. So yep.
Yeah. My kids started school Friday and Monday.
Yep.
Will started kindergarten on Friday, and Theo started preschool on Monday. More officially in school.
Wow. 3 of the 4 grandkids are in school. Crazy.
The next big step is when Theo hits full day school, because it's only half day right now.
Yep. So yep. And we had 2 of the kids overnight.
Yep.
Stayed the night with us. So anyway.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then had him most of the day.
Yes, we did. Went to a movie.
Yes, you did.
They did all right. They did okay. Jaden has an issue. I don't think he can last through an hour and a half movie. He was upside down on the chair. And why does this chair do this? I'm like, just watch the movie.
He is curious about his environment and the things that are in it.
Yep. We went and saw Bad Guys 2 with them.
That's right.
So
we asked Will what the movie was like or what was, and he's like, I don't know. But that's his answer. What'd you do at school today? I don't know. Did you sit down? No, we just sat on the rug. Just sat there, did nothing. I was like, I highly doubt you did that. Did you color? Did you write your name? Yeah, we colored a little bit. What did you color? I don't know.
So we got Shutter Duck Photography in here. He's our our picture guy. He does a lot of things for us, thumbnails, and he set up the camera. So he's probably in there checking it out, making sure it looks good. But there you go. That's who that is. Part of the team here. That's his photography business account right there.
He's doing my family pictures in September.
There you go. I need to get that headshot from him from our event. So look.
Our event?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I
need a new headshot.
Anyway, there you go. So we're gonna see what else is going on. So this last week, we did video. I think on the Bronco was was it the vintage Bronco that we did this last week? Yeah, I think it was the vintage Broncos.
Are they starting to all roll together?
Yeah, it is. Well, I've actually on the Bronco ones, I'm like 2 ahead.
Yeah.
Because I have one that I did like a month ago that I still haven't used. That we'll do. It's a special custom build we did for a customer. So that'll go live not this week because a vehicle came in that we're highlighting for the video tomorrow.
Right.
The Coastal Bronco that we had come in that you can get from the factory that way. So they drop it off. And we thought we were going to put tires on it because we thought, well, what tire? They were going to put the factory tires on it. We realized the Black Diamond factory tires are not what it says in the order guide. The order guide says a 265 or 70 R17s or something. I'm like, well, that's going to be like a 32-inch tire. No, they're a 285.
Right.
So I think that's more like a 33. They look like the 33s from the Badlands, and they looked great. So we don't have to put any tires on it. So that'll help keep the price down a little bit. But it's pretty nice. So that video is going to go live tomorrow. It is on our website. It got pictured today, so pictures will be uploaded tonight. So we'll be able to see those tomorrow as well. But yeah, and then there's a short from our McArthur account that went live earlier, so you can check it out if you want to see a little bit of the quick version of it off of that. So a sneak peek, I should say. But that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. It's a cloth top. We don't order that many unless I order it. So that one was there you go. Anyway, what else? What we got going on? Yeah. Oh, Super Duty Saturday video was the trimmer R package that we put together, where we supercharge a trimmer and do a few other custom stuff too. The graphics and everything. which is pretty cool. And we even do the seats. So we do the leather cloth seats in those as well, on a trimmer, on a Super Duty trimmer. And yeah, it turned out really good. So we did a video on that. And then we have a video coming this Saturday on the takeoff wheels from the trimmer, because we put different wheels and tires on. So we create an MLX4 build out of the wheels and tires that we took off of that and put it on the build.
Yep.
So that one's going to go live Saturday. And then, yeah, Coastal Bronco video today. And then Expedition Order Bank 26 should open up Friday. So we should be able to get the order guide Friday and do what's new for 26 Expedition. And then Maverick the following Monday. Next Monday. We think.
I feel like
I'm pretty confident.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get more information tomorrow, but that was not listed in our scheduling notes today, like the Expedition was. The Expedition was confirmed 22nd. Anyway, there's that. All right. What else we got going on? I got some graphics coming for my Bronco.
Yes.
They should get printed this week and hopefully get put on next week. Looking forward to that. You know, one thing I realized today, what I'll have to do now, once I get the new graphics on the Bronco, I'm gonna have to get a whole new thing from AJ, and I'm gonna need to get new stickers, new patches. I'm like, oh man, I gotta get upgraded patches and stickers again and go through the whole thing.
I think you use what you have until you run out.
Well, patches, I'm not gonna get more patches until I've run out of those, and I'm not sure why I ordered
By the
200 of
way-
those.
By the way, when
Anybody want a patch?
at the event, I like to have our stickers on hand so that we can do patch swaps, but I like to have extra, like, of your car or my car, because a lot of kids like stickers. They just like random stickers. So I'll go, hey, you want a sticker? And they're like, I was like, do you want a car on it? Or do you want like Stitch or something? Half the time they go, I want a car. So give them the Bronco, give them the Lightning. They like it.
Yep. All right. Anyway, so I'm not going to give you guys any ideas of what the graphics are going to look like. Members will get to see it before the video. So we should have a video on September 3rd. September 3rd, we should do I'm going to have a walk around on my Bronco of the build, the things that we've had done here at McArthur on my Bronco. The suspension upgrades, the package upgrade with the Roush, and then show the graphic that's getting done in-house and everything else. So we'll do a walk around on that, and that'll be going right into Supercell, because I'll do that video will go live Wednesday night as we're on our way to Supercell. So that's if you're looking for that, that's when that is. If you're a member, you guys will probably get to see it on the lot walk on hopefully the 28th.
Yeah.
We'll see. If you're a Comfort Time member, you will get to see it. For sure. I can guarantee that. Anyway. All right. Enough of that.
We need to mention Rebel.
Yes, we do. So
Rebel is coming up.
Rebel Rally is coming up. And we have some fun stuff coming along.
Yeah.
So you do.
I do.
Talk about that.
So coming up on the All Women Driven channel, I have a bunch of different teams joining me. So it wasn't one-on-one, it was me and the team. Wasn't more of their backstory, but more of like how they met, how they're training, have they done this before, and we kind of get to know them as a team. And so we went through that, and then Emily Miller, the creator and founder of Rebel Rally, joined me for an interview. She will go live as they are doing tech inspection.
Yeah, so
probably finishing up.
So you have a lot of these already recorded, and
Yes.
you're going to have them ready. You're going to have a weekly
For
podcast. And for those, they'll be on YouTube plus your podcast on Spotify. So make sure you're subscribed to All Women Driven if you're really into the Rebel Rally, and definitely share that out to people and let them know about it, because it'll be it'll be cool, because you're going to start with Emily. Right. So then the next podcast you have what's your schedule?
Okay, I have my schedule. Emily is going to be pretty much the end of the interviews I have with teams or people from Rebel.
Okay, so you're gonna have the other ones go before
her.
So they start after your birthday, right?
Somewhat. Yes, they start after my birthday. So we're gonna do a special one for my birthday because my birthday lands on a Thursday. So we're gonna do my birthday. After that, we will have weekly. We will have Kristen and Amanda go live on 9/11. Lonnie and Danielle go live on 9/19. Kimberly and Eva are a team, but they wanted to do theirs separately. They were having some conflictions with scheduling. So at this time, unless I get another interview in, they're going separate 9:25 and 10:2, and then end with Emily Miller on 10:9. That's during their tech inspection. On the 10th, they'll start doing their live broadcasting of events and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So on 10:16, I plan to talk about. They won't have to be finished yet. It's going to be like a day or two before they're finished. So we'll go over. I want to come on and talk about how they're doing so far. Kind of go over standings and whatnot.
Cool. It'll be fun. Yeah, that'll be cool. So,
and then they've all agreed to come back afterwards, like 2 or 3 weeks afterwards for a follow up.
That'll be fun.
So yeah.
Cool.
We'll have lots of fun.
Yeah. So that sounds like good. So you guys be looking for those. So like, she's usually every other week, but starting after her birthday.
Yep.
September
every
4th.
Week.
It's every week after that until Rebel.
Yep.
That'll be cool. So put that on your schedule. Things to do Thursday nights.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cool. Yep. And we'll remind you of that as it gets closer each week as well.
Yes.
As a reminder. So you know when those are going live. All right. Let's see. What else we getting into? I don't have my notes here in front of me, but went through all that good stuff. And then we needed to member shout outs. So one of the other things we talk about when you become a member is you get shout outs.
Yes.
So we'll do those.
All right, we'll start off with Ridgeview. He is our moderator and longest standing member. He welcomes everyone in for us and keeps our chat going for us. He says, Livestream day, yeah, see you all soon. Lots of the time, he's in here first before anyone else.
Yep.
We also have Ford Enthusiast, evening all. JB Mav, 25, evening everyone. We have Rob Hallmark. Good evening, all. How's everyone doing? Our Quib. Early tonight, young man, since it is so hot in Maine, why not just go up to Florida for the Gulf breezes? We have Blue Truck. Good evening from a comfortable Illinois. Steve. Hey, Ridgeview and fellow Ford nuts. Bucko. Good evening, everyone. We have Douglas, 68 and cloudy in Virginia. Don't forget me this week. I missed him last week. We have Ghost Stang. Good evening, all. Mike M. Hey, all. We finally got to play golf tonight. Still very hot. Looking forward to a nice, relaxing show in the cool. Alan. Tim's Bronco is going to look pretty cool when done.
You got a chance to see it.
Yeah.
The
coffee time.
The
yeah.
The mock up.
All right, we got Jack. Enjoy watching Coffee Time with Tim. We also have, I wanted to shout this one out. William Kelly, Memphis, Tennessee is here, non-member for the past 3 years. And we have honorary member Allie Dubois here.
There we go.
So, yeah.
Cool. And Allie got to see these in person, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They had them in Woodward. So, little jelly. I don't know.
Very jelly.
So, I wasn't like, Ford had actually told some of us that, like when we went and looked at the 60th anniversary, some of the media, they did tell us that they would have something to show us at Woodward. That's something to show us. And so I was like, oh, I need to come back. I mean, I talked about it on the way back, and I don't know. I guess I just had this feeling that it wasn't going to be a production thing, or like it wasn't going to be like a 26 model year thing. But so we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it. It is something cool, but it's not a production, something that will be produced. Yeah. It's just something fun. But yeah, we'll talk about it. Anyway. All right. And then, other than that, let's keep moving along.
All right.
All right. Okay, so we did scheduling video earlier tonight. It did go live, so I scheduled it out this time. I didn't forget. So if you had a chance to watch that, just as an overview, most of the models are scheduled this week. Last week was a lot of the models were doing retail only. This week, what they call main commitment, and that means I need to make sure I'm looking over here. That means that main commitment means that they're going to do retail first, but if there's a stock one, then they'll do a stock. So what happens is the first week they like to do retails, they not look for stocks, and then at that point, depending on after they've scheduled all the retails, then they try to schedule anything else they can do, and so some stock scheduling will happen in there, because if it's certain configurations where they might be constrained to some things that retail orders are in there for, then a retail order may not get selected, but a stock might get selected instead. So a lot of them are going to have a combination of that. So again, a dealer still needs an allocation. Like last week, we had 21 Bronco allocations, and they all got used for retail orders last week. Yeah. So that's why, like, we wouldn't have any allocations for Bronco. And like Ranger Raptors, all 10 of our Ranger Raptor allocations got used last week. That kind of thing. So we wouldn't have any of those available. So anyway, all right. So yeah, most models, Mustang is scheduling. These are October build dates. Escape is scheduling. Bronco Sport is scheduling. Bronco Sport has a lot of like limited exhausted availability items because they scheduled most of what they could. Now it mentions in here Badlands, Big Bend, and Heritage Edition is very limited exhausted, and that a lot of them it's because of the wheel option. So on the Heritage Edition, it's because of the white wheels. Well, Heritage Edition only comes with that wheel, but on the Big Bend, it's because of the standard wheel. Well, if there is a standalone option wheel now available on the Big Bend, so if you went with that wheel, which I actually like better, that is the wheel they put on the Black Diamond off-road package. If you added that optional wheel, you probably would get selected. And then on the Badlands, it says Badlands Tech Package. So probably if you want Badlands without the Tech Package, you'd get scheduled. Now, if you want it, then hold tight. But otherwise, that would probably help you get scheduled on that. But 25 Bronco, again, it's nothing there except it does say very limited exhaust availability for the base 4-door version. So probably because we took all those. We ordered a bunch of base 4-doors. I'm telling you, we're turning them all into vintage Broncos because I think those are going to sell like crazy for us. So 25 model year mach-e is scheduling. They did not schedule last week, so this week is retail only. Explorer scheduling. There are a lot of constraints on that for this week. Very limited exhausted on the active ST line, ST trimmer with a 3.0 engine, black painted roof, which is kind of crazy that people actually want that. The ST line street package, the ST line standard wheel, and then the keypad. Shows you that everybody wants a keypad.
Right.
Anyway, and then let's see. Expedition, it is scheduling, and Maverick is scheduling. Does say in here now, just so you know, Tremor is no. I mean, just we kind of mentioned it last week about Tremor, and I didn't like look things up, but this week I did look up some information on Tremor. Maverick Tremor, you can't order one right now.
Right.
It tells you that it's conflicts and is not, basically they can't build it, and they're not doing any allocations, any scheduling for Tremor. So I think for this model year, Tremor's done.
Right.
It's forget it. It does say they need some Lobo orders, but we have plenty of those that we've taken more than we need. It does say very limited exhausted for the XL version, the front wheel drive, the 4K tow package, and the Lux XLT Lux package. So if you're one of those out there and you're maybe a dealer needing to use your allocations, with XL being constrained, go XLT. Right? Without the 4K tow package, you should be good. Maybe go all-wheel drive since front-wheel drive is a constraint. So go like all-wheel drive, and hybrid's not a constraint. So you go all-wheel drive, hybrid, XLT, not a bad build right there. So anyway, 25 Ranger, it is scheduling. Main commitment does say the black appearance package and the black running boards are a constraint, very limited exhausted, and also the Raptor graphics. So if you're someone out there and your dealer has an allocation and you have an order, and maybe they have multiple orders, the orders that are probably going to get scheduled is the ones without the graphics. So you're aware of that. Okay, Super Duty, 26 Super Duty is scheduling, and some information. Last week we had two things that people asked about that, and I got to remember what they were at the top of my head. One was the trimmer. Remember, they said their dealer said they ordered a trimmer for them on an XLT trimmer.
Right.
Okay, so if you have, I did look it up, you can order an XLT trimmer with a 6.7, but there is a note on there that says it is a late availability and won't schedule.
Right.
That note is on there. So it lets you order it, but it won't schedule. Now, if you're wanting an XLT trimmer with a 7.3 liter, it won't even let you order it. So I made that note of that. I can't remember what the other thing was on Super Duty.
Is it written down?
It's written down on my up there, and so I'm trying to visually see what it was. It's underneath that white piece of paper. What was it?
Quality hold?
Yes. Okay. That's what it was. So they were asking whether or not the Super Duties were actually getting shipped out, because a lot of people are saying that there's instant shipping. They think there's a problem. There's an issue with the Super Duties. We got our first Super Duty this week. So they got the okay to buy. They were on quality hold. They do this every year when they transition from one model year to the next. There usually is about a 4-week quality hold on each vehicle. Explorers had that. Escape is going to have that. Super Duty had theirs, and they've already started shipping out, so they should start trickling out. So you should be good to go if you have one that was built in July. They should start shipping. We had one arrive, like I said, this last week.
Mm-hmm.
Our first one arrived then, and then they're going to start trickling in. So we have a bunch that are on the rail. So I looked up a bunch of our orders, and good to know they are shipping. So there you go. And then for this week, if you're needing to get scheduled, very limited exhausted for the Platinum Plus package. Also for the Lariat Premium package, the Max Recline seats, and then limited availability for the King Ranch and the tailgate step. Now, limited is better than very limited to exhausted. So it goes limited, very limited, exhausted. So that's in a way of severity of that. So anyway, 25 F-150 is scheduling. King Ranch and Platinum versions asked about the tailgate. They're calling it the tailgate flex step. I think that's the Pro Access tailgate. They're saying that's an issue. And then also for XLT and Lariat versions, to remember that they have the new wheel now. It's the 18-inch painted aluminum wheel. That is your new standard wheel. And not that long ago, they'd said we have full availability for the hybrid power boost. Okay. It is now a limited availability. So, things change. Also, the STX Black Appearance Package 20-inch wheel is limited availability, and then very limited to exhausted on the Raptor R. So, and then on the Transit, it is scheduling with no constraints there. So, all right. Anyway, so there's an overview of scheduling for this week.
All right.
Any questions on any of that?
Not really.
Okay, I haven't looked at my dealer news updates here. Yep. All right. We'll move on then and keep it rolling along. Got to see if I get the right one. That's this one, right? There we go. Did I do one on scheduling? I think I did the wrong one for scheduling. All right. For dealer news, I don't really have a lot here. They did mention that they are changing the name on the 400 watt outlet. So they want that name Pro Power Onboard to be more synonymous everywhere. So from here on out, every time you see 400 watt outlet, it'll now say Pro Power Onboard 400 watt, 400W. Mm-hmm. So just like it does on the others, where it's the Pro Power Onboard 2.0 kilowatt, 2.4 and 7.2. So you're in 9.6. You're now going to start seeing that on all of them. So that goes for the Ford Bronco, Bronco Sport, Expedition, Maverick, Ranger, and Navigator. Wherever you're seeing that 400 watt outlet, it'll now start being changed to be called Pro Power Onboard 400 watt. There you go.
All right.
Like it matters that much. Other than that, that's all I have for dealer news for this week. Not a lot. I got some recalls, though. Quite a few. Any questions yet?
No.
All right. Well, let's move on to recalls. All right. So recalls. This first one, I'm going to put my glasses on for this. My eyes are starting to get tired. All right. So this first one actually came out. I missed it before last week. It came out on the 12th. Customer Satisfaction Program 25B40. This is for 25 model year F-150 Platinum Plus trim vehicles. It does say that 59 vehicles are affected by this one here. And this is a customer satisfaction program, means that there's no mileage limit and it's in effect for the next year. And this on all of the affected vehicles, the rear right-hand seat backrest cover of the Platinum Plus trim series may have a limited badge. This condition is cosmetic and does not affect the safe operation of the vehicle. So basically, I put the limited badge instead of the Platinum
Right.
badge on it. Anyway, there you go. So if you don't like the limited being on there, so like three of the seats will say Platinum, but the one seat will say limited.
Right.
And that's kind of funny. Anyway, and letters are going to go out to those people, those 59 people this week.
All right.
All right, this next one is Compliance Recall 25C38. This is for 22 F-150s with the headlamp control modules, the LED replacement. And this is kind of an update to some past recalls. So there are 2,338 vehicles affected by this one. According to Ford's records, the certain 22 F-150s may not have the remedy for the compliance recall 22C22 or 23C36 installed correctly. So because of that reason, they have to initiate this recall. So those people that didn't have that done correctly will get letters this week. So it has to do with those LED lights. I think that's the flicker, right? The flicker light thing. Yeah. Under this concern, parking lamp flickering may occur during any of these three following scenarios: park lamps, headlamps, or night mode. So anyway, so that's the flickering light one. So some of those did not get done correctly, but they said they were done correctly. So, all right. So this one here is Special Field Action 24L03. So this typically means that it needs to get done before it takes delivery, I believe is what it means. This program will be in effect through August 31st of 2026. All owners, including prior and current, will be mailed and eligible for reimbursement if qualified. So the reason for this communication, Ford Motor Company will be notifying customers during the week of August 25th, 2025 or earlier about a refund offer for customers who may have paid for particulate matter sensor repairs within the emissions warranty period. The emissions warranty coverage eligibility for the PM sensor in the Ford warranty claim system was omitted due to an administrative error. This awareness communication will help dealers answer customer questions related to the special field action. So vehicles on this, these are diesel engines, basically. So F-150 3.0 diesel for 21 model year, F-650 and 750 6.7 liter diesels from 21 to 23 model year, and Super Duties 6.7 liter diesel 2020 to 2022 model year. So again, those letters are going to go out next week or earlier, it said. All right, this next one is Safety Recall 25S77, and this is for 25 model year F-150s, including your Lightnings, Expedition, Navigators, Ranger, Bronco. Also, it says in here 26 model year Ranger.
Interesting.
Which they haven't built in. Well, evidently they have. So these are some of the Rangers built in Europe.
Okay.
So I was like, wait a minute. I was like, it flagged. I was like, 26 model year. They haven't started 26. And then I looked at the location. It's actually not here. It's in somewhere. It's in another country. Pachico. Anyway, 310,374 vehicles are affected by this one. And some of the affected vehicles, it may be possible to experience a loss of brake boost while driving. A loss of brake boost causes a change in brake pedal feel and increases pedal travel. The analog braking system Electronic stability control and brake telltales will illuminate, and informational messages will be displayed in the instrument cluster. In addition, an audible alert will sound. An unexpected loss of brake boost while driving can result in increased stopping distance, which increases the risk of a crash. So owners of record will be mailed next week to that one. So, all right, this next one is a safety recall 25S20. This is actually an update, supplement number 2 on this one. So this one originally, I think supplement number 1 happened in April. So this in here, they are updating the affected vehicles from the 25 model year Super Duties built between December 17th of 24 through April 11th of 25. 11,638 vehicles are now affected by this. And they also updated the labor allowances, the part requirements, and ordering information, and the technical instructions. So, and this in here, this had to do with due to process deviations at the supplier, the steering column assembly was built with misaligned welds attaching the shifter mechanism to the steering column. If the shifter mechanism detaches while the vehicle is not in park, the driver will be unable to engage park. The vehicle may roll if the parking brake is not manually applied, increasing the risk of a crash. So these owners will be mailed next week on that one too. So at least these are all fixes. They're not like advance notice that they don't have a fix for yet.
Right.
I say that, and then this one probably will be. All right, so this one is safety recall 25S49. And this has to do with a lot of different vehicles. So we have mach-e's built, or 21 to 23 model year mach-e's, 21 to 24 model year F-150s, 22 to 23 F-150 Lightnings, 24 Mustangs, 22 to 25 Transits, 22 model year to 24 model year Expedition and Navigators, 22 model year Super Duties, 23 to 25 model year Super Duties built at Kentucky, and then 23 to 24 F-250 to F-600s in Ohio. Escapes 23 to 24 along with Corsair, 21 to 24 Bronco, 24 model year Ranger, 21 to 23 model year Nautilus, and 21 to 24 model year Edge. Oh, and then 22 to 23 model year F-150 Lightning, and then 2020 Explorers. So it says in here, so 1,083,170 vehicles are affected by this one. So in some of the affected vehicles, the infotainment screen may freeze, followed by a black screen and a system reboot. If this occurs during a backing event, the rearview image may be frozen, missing, or delayed. A frozen rearview camera display image while in reverse can reduce the driver's view of what is behind the vehicle, increasing the risk of a crash. So in this in here, does say over there update can be done. Parts to repair this condition are currently not available in sufficient quantities to service all of the affected vehicles. Therefore, to ensure an ample supply of parts is available, owners of affected vehicles will be notified in 3 separate mailings. The mailings will begin the week of August 25th or sooner. And then they'll kind of go from there. So there you go. Ooh, that's a big chunk. That's a lot of people. All right. This next one is equipment safety recall 25S73. And this in here is for 2015 and 2021 F-150 vehicles with the trailer brake controller kits. In fact, we just talked about this one May 31st. Oh, wait. Actually, I thought we talked about this last week. Anyway, 4 vehicles affected by this one. We did talk about this last week, so we don't need to talk about that this week. But letters are going out this week for those people, those 4 people. So that's it on that. So that's actually something else that I won't forget about. All right. There you go. So there's that.
All right.
Whew. Any questions so far, whether it be on recalls, dealer news, scheduling, anything like that?
So,
because we're a little early. I told Dave 8 o'clock and it's 7:40.
all right. Any insight on 26 Super Duty build finishing out of Kentucky? His schedule week was 7/28.
Yeah, we just talked about that. Remember
Okay.
you went over there? They are shipping out. We
Okay.
had vehicles that were built the week of the 21st that arrived yesterday or last week. Other ones, yeah, they'll start shipping out. Like I said, all of them had a quality hold.
Right.
Once the quality hold was lifted, then they just opened it up and they'll go out at some point.
Okay.
Got to remember as they produced the first probably 4 weeks, they produced the vehicles, set them off to the side for quality to make sure the builds is good
Yeah.
before they ship them out. Because if they notice, after a week or two that, oh, nope, this is actually not getting done correctly, then they need to go back and check all the others before they let them go. And so because of that, they do that every year. So that's starting to be a part of the process now. So any new changeover, I've come across this, right? So if you're early, if you have an early production date on a vehicle on a new model year, always expect it's going to take a good 4 weeks for it to even get shipped out. So you're almost better off not getting scheduled in that first month.
Right.
And getting scheduled in the second month. Because what will typically happen is just what happened to my Expedition. I got scheduled early, one of the first ones. It got produced and it sat quality hold. Boom, sat off to the side. I had a second one. We decided, you know what, we're probably gonna need that extended length. So we ordered it a month later.
Yeah.
It got scheduled a month later. It got built and got shipped. And we got it 2 months before the other one finally showed up.
Right.
So I found that typically being the first doesn't mean you will actually be one of the first.
Right.
And especially when it's quality hold, because they'll get built, they'll get put in there. And my envision in my mind is they get parked and then they get stacked up behind each other, behind each other, behind each other, behind each other. So once the quality hold's lifted, then they're going to start shipping off from the back first. So the ones in the front that got built first actually end up going out like a month after the others.
Right.
So you're better off once they get the okay to buy. You're better off being not built or coming right off the line and being built. That's what happened to mine. That's why it got so early. Was that mine actually the week that they got the okay to buy was when the Expedition got built.
Right.
And then and so it was one of the first ones that arrived. And it was like, how did you get yours fast? I'm like, well, it's because I was later. So
yeah. Will 26 Expedition qualify for a Z plan?
Yeah, so does 25.
Okay.
Yep. All the planned pricing that should be. If your dealer isn't doing it on a 25, then they're probably lying to you, which actually isn't right. You either have to abide by the plan and do it or not. You can't hand choose. Hey, we're going to do it on these vehicles, but not on the Expedition because we know we can get top dollar for the Expedition because it's new. You can't do that. You either got to abide by the rules on all of them or none of them.
Right.
When is Ford going to have the Bronco Sport hybrid? Your guess is as good as mine. Ford will never tell us anything about future products. So at this point, that's a future product that we don't know whether or not it will be made or when it'll be made. So 26 model year, I don't actually, they didn't really have said when 26 model year is going to be opening up. They made a big deal about Maverick balancing out, but not Bronco Sport. So which is really weird that Bronco Sport is normally the same. The vehicles at the same plant usually abide by the same sets of dates, like Bronco and Ranger. Also, we see that usually with your Escape and Corsair. You see that usually with Bronco Sport, Maverick. They usually follow the same dates. So it's really weird that Bronco Sport wouldn't open up on the 25th as well. So maybe next week we'll be able to tell you about Bronco Sport as well as Maverick. So we'll just have to see.
Okay. Has Law McArthur done any shock replacements yet for the recall? Mine are getting replaced on Thursday.
They're not being replaced. So I don't know if you saw that. We talked about that last week. They're unless they've actually went ahead and separated and they're leaking out, they're not replacing them.
Right.
They're basically putting a Band-Aid on it in a sense. So they're putting a little seal around it. We talked about it. Check it out last week. We talked about it. They're putting a seal around it. There's also on Bronco 6G, people put the images from the bulletin on there. I actually pulled it up. On some of them, they're also putting a little thing that goes around the shock and kind of an exclosure around it to keep it together. So that's happening too. So if they're already getting a leak on it, if there's like some separation and little is leaking and seeping out of the reservoir, it's where the reservoir goes into the shock. So on those shocks, so that's where it's connecting. If it's already starting to seep, then they're going to seal it with some sealant and then put an enclosure, a thing around it. And that's, so like I said, it's a Band-Aid.
Right.
It's a crutch. It's a Band-Aid, whatever you want to call it. It's a splint. That's what they're doing on those. So yeah, so that's what they're doing on that. So you might check that out on Bronco 6G, and what they're doing. I don't know. I'm sure there's nothing fun. I mean, if they wouldn't do it if it won't work. That's why it's probably taken so long for it to come out. So it probably works just fine.
Right.
But luckily I don't have those shocks. But I mean, I don't know. I'd almost want to get new shocks if it were me. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
What does McArthur do with the OEM tires / wheels when you replace them with aftermarket? I bought some directly from the owner when they upgraded.
So a lot of, depending on the wheel. So if it's a wheel that we can reuse, like we did, like I talked about earlier, the trimmer R, we put new wheels on those trimmers. Well, those are real nice. They have a real nice trimmer wheel. So in that case, what we did is then we created a second build called the LMX4, and those wheels are going on that build. So we created another build. But in that case, the XL wheels, which were steel wheels, we usually will pitch those. We usually don't resell those because not many people want like a steel. Like we're about ready to replace a bunch of Maverick XL steel wheels with upgraded wheels, and we usually just throw the wheels away.
Right. We've talked about trying to sell them.
And if you're wanting like some Maverick XL wheels, when we take them off, we can hold them for you. But in that case, we don't like to like hold on to them because then we have this warehouse full of wheels that eventually we never have, and so we just throw them away.
Right, because they can't just throw them up on the market.
We can't just, I don't know.
So, do you think Ford will put the A-pillar grab handle on Job 2 Badlands build?
Nope. And I actually want to do some research on that when it comes out because I know the part will be available through parts, right?
Right.
I want to see if it will work. They're saying that grab handle will not work on a pre-2025 Bronco. I also saw that Ford, and I don't know this for sure, and the brand manager hasn't contacted me back. Go figure. And because I asked about that, is if, according to Ford Authority, they say that grab handle will not be on all of the trim levels. It won't be like standard equipment.
Right.
And I had the impression that was going to be, I don't know why they wouldn't make it standard equipment across the board. I don't see why they would make that an upper trim level. They made it sound like it was an option or be standard on like a Lux.
Right.
But that doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that they would go through the effort of making only some of them that way. It'd be a lot easier for production to just make them all that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess only time will tell on that. But they also said that you won't be able to, that article said, no, I think it was Bronco Nation. I think Laura said that they can't be retrofitted onto older Broncos. But they also said that fit kit wouldn't work on older Broncos, and it did.
Right.
So I want to actually pull that panel off and see how different it is for that part and see if it can be put on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It'd be hard for me to believe that it couldn't.
Right. I
guess we'll find out. I mean, I know your mom would love to have one of the grab handle up there.
Yeah.
Because, like where it is above, like we have the little paracord part, that little cord, whatever they call it, paracord. Yeah. And she doesn't like it where it's located because of that. She wants it up there.
Mm-hmm.
So if it can, we probably will try. So we'll find out. but they will not put them on job 2 Badlands builds. So that was to show you what the 26 is going to look like. They're getting ahead, right? So
Right.
that 60th anniversary is the 2026 build on that A pillar grab handle. That is 2026. 25s will not be getting that. So anyway, in fact, we got a guy that was at this 60th anniversary reveal. He just popped into our virtual green room. We'll have to when he gets in here, we'll have to ask him, see what he thought about that. But all right, any other questions?
Nope, that was all.
None. Not a questions. So we move along. Do I have an is it true? Got to talk about that. Oh, I might be able to do it. Is it true? Let's do an is it true? Because I've had some people ask this about some different things about. Well, let's see. Let me try to think of some things that I've had to answer some questions on. So, all right. So I've had a lot of people that, like on my last video, they said that I had clickbait on my video because it said how to order the 2026,
yeah,
and it was the Mustang Dark Horse, and so they basically it was like, well, that's clickbait because you're talking about 26 and you can't order 26. I think is what they were saying, but the way they said it. Wasn't very I don't know, they were kind of being mean, but let's talk about this. So let me pull this up and see if I can get the screen to show up. Oh, wrong thing. We're going to share this and pull this up. There we go. Add that to the screen. So here's why I think they think that you can't order one yet. Because if you go to 26 Mustang on the build and price, you can't order one. So I think there are a lot of them that feel if we go to like the 26 Escape, same way, right? Go to 26 Escape, right? 25 model year, there's nothing about 26. And then if you go to the 26 Explorer, right? 25 model year, there's nothing about 26. So I think a lot of people they think because build and price isn't online that you can't order it. And that is not the fact. This is great. Ford's website is a nice little tool, right? It allows us to be able to do some things, but it is just to help things. That doesn't, I mean, we've been able to custom order vehicles for I don't know how long. Well, they have 26 Super Duty finally now. Not sure when that happened. So, in fact, the other day, somebody asked me just the other day when Super Duty was going to be able to have the build and price up, and I didn't know, but it looks like it's there now. So you can, looks like you can build out a 26 Super Duty, but like before that, you really, I mean, you can't. But so we've been able to we've seen that for a long time where, when the build and price was never there, and I mean we didn't have a Ford didn't have build and price on the website, but we were able to order vehicles, and that's why you went to a dealer was they had the order guide, and that's how I've known about the order guide and had been able to go through that for so many years. It's because we've been doing that since I started selling cars 20 years ago. They had order guides. That's how you knew what things are supposed to look like, right, and that kind of thing. So, so anyway, so there's my is it true is that. Just because the build and price isn't online doesn't mean you can't order one. That's that. All right, we got Dave in here. Let's go to this. We're gonna go to I'm gonna do this first. We have Dave testing.
Mic check.
Yep, I can hear you. Got our microphone going. How is it going?
Well, first off, I feel like it's the battle of who has the more neon-y thing going on tonight, and you're winning. It's going great, man. It's
Monday. We're gonna move
Monday.
ours down a little bit, I think, next week because it's a little high. We're gonna bring it down. There's like all this.
Holes in the wall.
We won't be able to see them though, because see where the holes are or above that. I already thought this through. We'll pull it down, but yeah. So yeah, people are telling us we needed something on a wall. We're like, okay,
Oh, I love it.
I'll get a neon. It works for Dave. So how's it going?
Everything's good, man. Back from a long weekend in East Tennessee, and supposed to be in Detroit, but things happen and plans have to change. But yeah, a little tired, to be honest. A couple weeks of travel, but yeah, doing well.
Yeah. We thought about going to Woodward because what we're going to talk about tonight, is like, well, Ford told us, you were there, that we're going to have something to show off, and I was like, I don't think it's going to be 26 model year stuff. I think it's going to be, that kind of thing. So, which is kind of I wasn't really that shocked by what it was coming. It looks cool, and we'll get into that in a second. But before we get into that, though, have you had, if you talked about 26 model year, we just talked about it as part of the Is It True before you were getting on here. But I
don't tend to talk about this stuff till I get a PDF or something where I can have it. The days of Bronco speculation we're way past those. All my birdies have been pretty quiet in the area. So, which is kind of unusual, to be honest. I think maybe the latest round of UAW stuff scared them enough to stop taking pictures and all that in the production plants. But no, I'm waiting. I was eagerly hoping something will come out at Woodward about maybe at least colors. Usually that's when they kind of say, hey, here's what's coming for colors, at least tease us. But no, we didn't get anything that exciting.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to ask you this because I know Ford Authority posted this, and I was I guess I wasn't unsure of what's going on. We saw that grab handle, the A-pillar grab handle on that 60th anniversary. Now, did you get included? Felt like to me that was going to be something we'd see on like all the Broncos, not just the 60th anniversary, because I think I asked them that. So all the Broncos will get this, and I thought they had said yes. Is that how you took it, or?
I don't know. They kind of hinted. They'll say, hey, we don't talk about. It's the same speech. We don't talk about future product. But they definitely did some winks. So that's where I kind of left it at that. But it's got to be coming. I'll be honest, Tim. Like at first, I didn't catch it, and because it was so well done, I have to say I'm just so used to Broncos, it just didn't dawn on me. I'm not the biggest fan of where it's at, to be honest. I think it could be a little smaller. Maybe more on the A-pillar. I think the Wrangler does it more on the A-pillar. I feel like that's more of a natural spot. To me, it feels like something I'm going to whack my head on. I'm sure I won't, but that's just my first impressions of it.
It is a little high. I mean, it's a little like it's up in the corner instead of like, our SUV is down further, down. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I feel like I need I don't know. I don't, getting in as the driver, I don't feel like I need a grab handle.
Right.
But, and there's times on the passenger side, I tend to grab that. I've grabbed that handle on the dash before.
I probably grabbed the steering wheel more.
I'm short enough that I need a grab handle. Like when I'm getting into the driver's seat, I'm like, so how am I getting into this? Now with practice, you kind of get the hang of it. I don't want to grab my steering wheel because that could, shimmy the wheels and whatnot.
I grab the steering wheel. I'll get in, but I've gotten to where now I just stand straight. Because when I get in mine, I do have to have that step because ours has a left.
I'm just short enough that doesn't work for me.
So I'll step on that step that I have on my rock rails, and then I just stand up usually, and then I'll sometimes grab the handle and then I'll lean down and in. I don't know. On the passenger side though, I don't know. Anyway, we have those grab handles, above a lot of people putting on, the little ropes or whatever, the paracords or whatever. But I don't know. Anyway, I guess we'll see what models, because that way Ford Authority made it sound like was that it was only on upper luxury trim levels we're going to get it.
I'd heard at one point that they're even going to do away with the handles on the sides, that those were going away. So yeah. I don't know that to be true, but I'd heard that at one point from somebody pretty reputable at Ford. I don't know. Maybe they check, because do they leave it blank? Do they do something there? I will say where the handles are now is the most awkward place as far as your air vent. Like, I never feel like I actually get good air flow from that. But
no, the vents need to come out towards us because they're too far back, in my opinion. Because I don't feel like you can get them to turn. Yeah, I don't like where they're at either. But anyway, I also heard that they were talking about taking the trail sights off.
Really?
I heard rumors of that at one point.
Huh.
So
That one would be odd to me. Maybe in lower trims, you just start taking a few things like that away.
I don't know.
Um,
I'm like, don't do it.
well,
I
Ford's
thinking like,
made a great vehicle, and they've made a mess of everything they do after the fact. Like, I feel like,
Yeah.
we had a base. You guys know my opinion of a base. It should be what's called a base, not you don't get Sasquatch and all that. And then it went away, and then they made the Big Ben sort of the base. Then everything gets the big screens. Like, they just constantly are tinkering. It's like, you just leave it alone. Just next generation will worry about these.
I agree with you that the base, in my opinion, I'm not sure about a lot. I still think you should be able to get a rear locker on any trim level as a standalone option. I mean, I don't know. You can do it on a truck. Why can't? Anyway, I won't go any more into that because they're saying, well, that helps us with other packaging and other trim levels if we do that. Because I mentioned having a front camera as a standalone option. They said, well, that gives you a reason to go to Badlands. I said, so I got to pay an extra 10 grand just so I can get a front camera. So because I'm going to take this off road and I need to be able to see, and instead of see the sky, I want to see the trail. I mean, just little things like that. But I do think the base should be that. I mean, I do like the idea that you can't. I think it should be the smaller screen too. I don't think they should have the two double big screens. I mean, like I got an 8-inch screen. Mine, I got a 21. I got the 8-inch screen, and I'm not going to upgrade for a bigger screen just for a bigger screen. I mean, at this point, I mean, I looked at we had the Colsa Bronco that came in for us as a Big Ben claw top 4-door that I ordered, black diamond, and I'm telling you, I like it. I like the look of it. And two big screens, the vents in the back, but I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't know. I'm keeping to mine. I put so much on mine. I'm just at this point, I've kind of like it. This is going to be a keeper for me probably for a little while. And I'm just going to keep beating it up and taking it off road and then maybe get a second Bronco down the road. But
you definitely have fun with it. After a weekend of the dunes with you, you're willing to go have fun for sure.
Yeah, we got scratches on it. Somebody had posted that. I think it was in Bronco Nation Facebook group or something. I was scrolling and they were talking about the one thing I like about Jeep is the badge of honor or something. And I'm like, and people are like, that's what the scratches on the side of my Bronco are for. That's my badge of honor. It shows me that I actually take it on the trail and I don't just have a little badge stuck to my Bronco or my Jeep. It's like, okay. So, although I think that some of them are pretty cool. It's remembering the trails you're on, in my opinion. Like, that's what I like about some of the stickers and stuff on the back. Hey, these are the places that I've gotten to go to with my Bronco, which is what I kind of like. But so I do like that Jeep's I think Jeep kind of started that. I don't know if it's just Jeep or other brands, but I do like that. I put them on the back of our Bronco. And one of the reasons why I don't want to trade tops is because I got all those stickers on the back of it. It's like, she's like, well, what are you doing to get a different Bronco? Well, then that Bronco is where that Bronco goes.
Right.
Anyway, well, let's get into talking about this. What came out this last Saturday. You're, I think, in the same boat I was. I had plans. I was doing things. Ford didn't really let me know this was going on until it just Saturday morning. It popped in my email and it's like, oh, here we go. So I actually have these pulled up. We could talk about it. And I did watch your live stream, watch it recorded. I had to mow the yard on Saturday, or on Sunday, so I didn't get to watch it live with you. But as soon as I think you must have just ended when I popped in and I watched it recorded. But
we appreciate that.
But you were talking about this, and so this is that the what do they call it? Silver Lake Sand Dunes project vehicle. So this is pretty cool. So this is they said it's to celebrate the 60th anniversary, but I feel like this is kind of like the Easter Jeep Safari builds, which we both got to see in person in Michigan. Get it out. But this is kind of cool to kind of celebrate the shores of Lake Michigan, which hey, we were there.
Yeah,
we're in the Silver Lake Sand Dunes. Yeah, but I do. So it's kind of like this is the azure gray. It looks like. With some different shades of orange. From this angle, it looks like it's kind of one. Well, there's multiple shades there, but they do kind of put different graphics on there, which showing what you can do on that. Of course, This is a Bronco Sport with the Sasquatch, Badlands Sasquatch, which already gets the bull bar and everything. But of course, they painted the hooks on the front on those, and then they added a bull bar to this one here, or maybe they got it from the factory because mine had it from the factory. You know, and then of course the wheels, though, they did mention in here that on the Bronco Sport that they're the Mach-E rally wheel, but I think it's also the Lobo wheel. I think it's the same thing. I think they use the same wheel design, but on that, so not everybody's a big fan of that wheel, but it kind of works on this. I mean, it's amazing how a wheel will look good on one vehicle versus another,
Right.
and how a wheel can make a difference in a vehicle. I mean,
Oh,
we had
even the tire can make the change
Right?
the vehicle so much.
Yeah, we had a base Bronco that had the 16-inch wheels, steel wheels, and the little 30 whatever size tire it was, and we added that coastal package to it, and totally changed the look of it. And even the different vintage Bronco builds, where it's just basically a wheel and tire and a graphic on the side, it totally changes the look of that vehicle. But anyway, so that's pretty cool. A lot of people commented that that this board is backwards. I guess you're supposed to mount them with the fins at the front. I didn't know that, but
there's always that's fun stuff that's always fun stuff that people in the know always rip I see it a lot in these pictures of like they didn't do something right, and I'm like, guys, it was just for a photo.
Yeah, but I guess it's so that like if you're driving fast, then the fins will, I don't know, they'll get whatever. Anyway, somebody had an analogy of the paddle boards. That's what they are. But anyway, but they had the rack and everything, the rigid light bars on it. I think that you can see them up there, and I know that I know Melissa runs a rigid light bars on her Bronco Sport. The graphics on the side, and I do like the changing of the colors. They're not separated; they kind of flow, which looks pretty cool. And I really, Barb actually had said that ours is an Area 51, that orange accents would look good on a blue like this blue. And so I was not shocked at all that I thought that that orange would go with this. Just because we've seen, Badlands, you get a Badlands out there in the Azure Gray, you get a good little bit to peek at. Ooh, orange on the side looks pretty good, but yeah, that's pretty cool. The orange badges and everything, but yeah, looks pretty cool. And then the Bronco too, I think what they did, that's heritage wheels that they painted black. I think it said in the article, but
these are pretty low. They're pretty low hanging fruit for Ford to do. This is when you're starting to get towards the back end of a generation. You start seeing everything's a special edition with some stickers. And I mean, I don't think these are for production by any means, but this is pretty easy to get. Oh, look, we've got a press release, and people talk about Bronco again for a couple days, and it just kind of brings attention back to us. What I feel like these are.
It seems like when there's an event where Bronco should be at, like Easter Jeep Safari or, Woodward, right? They're doing something for those, right? That type of thing. Yeah. Now, the other one.
Just like they kind of keep releasing stuff at Pennsylvania, at Carlisle.
Yeah. Ford Performance will do some stuff at Carlisle. Now, of course, this is the one at Easter Jeep Safari that we all got to see.
Did you look at these in detail when you were there?
Pretty well. I did while I was doing the video, but I didn't actually get.
It was funny. Because these were very last minute builds. I mean, they were very, very last minute builds, and they're wraps. So, and I love the color, but you could already see where the wraps were peeling off of it, because after the event, they just don't care. They'll show these a little bit, but they really don't care. It's like they'll get unwrapped and turned into something else. But that two-door, man, oh my God, if they built that would bring some excitement to the two-door segment.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, did they actually, that's not a Raptor suspension at all.
It was.
Was it?
Yes. I was very surprised about that, because I don't remember when this press release dropped them talking much about it. But no, it actually had the full Raptor suspension under it.
Now, isn't a Raptor wider, like wheelbase and everything? Too?
Yes,
like
it's just like maybe a half-inch smaller than the F-150 Raptor, narrower.
Yeah, so that's what I was wondering. Now, the suspension, like the shocks and all that being the Raptor, but I didn't know if like it was,
the stance,
like they put the they switch that out or not. I don't know. But yeah, the fenders definitely, and yeah, it looks pretty good. But yeah, I actually at one of the auto shows when they first came out with the Lightning with the black package or whatever they called it, when that first came out, and that was a matte wrap. At the auto shows, you could see how terrible the wrap looked. It's like,
Right.
if that's what the production looks like, we don't want any.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's always for cameras and distance shots. It's never, when they do have some quality. It's fun to pick on them about some of the stuff, but they do actually have in production some quality control.
Oh yeah, I mean, like they'll tell you that in some of the vehicles now. This is a pre-production, like that 60th anniversary. They had said, no, this is pre-production.
Yeah,
there could be some flaws here and there, because it's they haven't fully done that. But yeah, that's anyway. All right, but here's the one that I think everybody's kind of really enjoying, and that is the other one that they revealed, and that's the whatever they call this, the OG to 6G, the one of a kind Bronco Roadster concept.
Man, you gotta be careful with that OG instead of an OJ there, and that's
right.
That's a whole other thing.
Right, exactly. But yeah, this is trying to bring back the U14 half cab pickup. There you go. From back the silver seats on that. Yeah, okay. But yeah, there you go. And they had the little, see, you can put the hard top on it. But they are side by side. So I don't know. Did they have this at Woodward? Because I think Allie got a chance to see it. Right?
No, these were at the out in
Pebble
California at Pebble Beach at the Concord.
I'd
had somebody that was talking about them, and I guess I misunderstood him, because I think even in my live stream I was said, oh yeah, I think these are at Woodward, and Allie corrected it, and then I talked to that person after the fact, and like, yeah, I'm out in California covering this. Pretty interesting. This is, I think, what people thought the Bronco was going to look like when we were getting them again.
Right. Well, there was somebody that was right in front of us at the Bronco birthday bash.
Yeah.
And they had done something like this with the tailgate. They had made a tailgate on.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well,
the BDS fire truck.
Yeah.
When it has a tailgate.
Yeah, it had a tailgate. So it could be done. And you could tell this, like you had mentioned, you caught that too. I caught it when I looked at this on Saturday, this is like a somewhere between 21 and 23, because it's got the smaller screens. So, and I think you mentioned it was a base. If you look at up there, it doesn't even have any kind of a rear locker.
I mean, in reality, it would be represented in the other truck. It wouldn't have been a very,
right?
The early Broncos were not luxury. Even, I don't know that you could get AC on them at the time. So, they weren't supposed to be high end. One thing I pointed out in this thing, though, is they overdid the white. I feel like if they would have just left the floor pans and all that black, it would have looked a lot better. The silver probably in the seats would have stood out a little bit better.
Yeah.
I feel like even the dash should have been more of the Badlands. What is it? Kind of a charcoal now they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, you have the black up here. I mean, you could have easily done that. You could have left white, across the middle, like they do in a Heritage Edition.
It would make it pop.
And then this down here being black.
Like it would make the steering wheel and the other accents in that area pop.
Yeah, because even on this, this older one, you have silver through here, but black on the top. And then even if you look in the wheel wells, you're getting black in there. That's not white in there. So yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So I sent this to my daycare. Dave, my daycare has a silver anniversary, and he's a Bronco enthusiast. And so I've sent him pictures and whatnot. So I sent this to her, and she's like, stop sending me these. I was like, I promise this is concept only. She's like, okay, I can show him. But now he wants the 60th edition.
Yeah. Tim, do you think that if they were to do a mid-cycle refresh on this, at some point, did they do a drop-down tailgate? Because they've taken quite a bit of heat on that.
I don't know. I mean, I think that would be that'd be a redesign year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
So that they could design it so it could probably open sideways and down. Or
they had that with F-150 has that, right? Where it can open like 5 different ways.
It has the Yeah, it has that where the tailgate go
What I
down.
mean is, like,
and
it would
then,
be an optional thing, so that if you wanted it opening to the side, you could order it to the
Okay.
side. If you want it ordered with a, tailgate style, you can do that.
I don't know.
But
I think they're trying to simplify production as much as they can
yes, yeah,
Oh,
anymore.
100%.
And so I think that
they wouldn't.
yeah, they would try to.
Not
That's
that many
why
options.
that's why I think the A-pillar grab handles are going to be standard on all of them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, why
You
would they
can't
just do it on the luxury ones? They would just do it for all of them just to
Right.
make production easy for them. But I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'll see the tailgate or not, but I
Yeah.
mean, it'd be nice. I mean, look how many people are putting the slides, or the tailgate, on slide table or whatever. A lot of people are getting them on the Broncos,
Yeah.
because they open up that lift gate and then they pull it out. I mean, my lift gate, my strut needs to be replaced on mine because like I got to pull it and then I pull it again because the strut doesn't stay. I mean, the things, especially when you add some 35s or even
Right.
like you have 37s. It makes it a little more difficult for that lift gate to open up, whereas a tailgate would be a little bit better.
Mhm.
But
Well, Toyota on the new Land Cruiser, if I remember right, it has a split gate that they've done. People love it, so I don't know why Ford wouldn't look at it. I know that initially they did take some heat about that when the Gen 6 popped. People are like the older generation, the Gen 1 lovers and stuff. They were all like, "Well, it doesn't have it doesn't have the drop tailgate." I'm always amazed at what people say I will not buy because it doesn't have this, and then probably a year later they bought it anyways.
yeah, I like. Well, you'll have people that like, what they need to do this, this, and this. But I'm like, but you still aren't buying it. So I mean, there are a lot of people who will tell you that they need to have this or this or this, but they're still not buyers.
Well, then the Broncos probably the first case of, oh, we want a Coyote in it. And you're like, you would probably never buy it, is the thing, because the 2 engine options now are great engine options for it. So they're not gonna, I can never see them putting a V8 in this unless it's like a couple years before they're killing, this generation and they want to do a Raptor R, something to that nature, but they're never gonna do that. And then it's unobtainable.
I mean, if anything, I mean, like they did that with, didn't they do that? They did that with F-150 Raptor. I thought, didn't they have one point they had a 5.2 or something? I mean,
well, yeah,
they
you
put
could get initially, the 6, you could get the big 6.2 or the what was it?
Yeah. So I'd see them, if we saw anything, it would be if they did a 5.0, it'd go to the Raptor first, and probably the only way you could get it is in the Raptor, or like you said, or making it a Raptor R. So
I do keep hearing rumors that there's going to be some new engine options coming. So
yeah, well, we'll see.
I think we're going to see a hybrid, definitely.
Yeah, do you think we're gonna see a hybrid and a Bronco?
I do because I think they'll follow Jeep's 4xe platform. Yeah, is it the best system? No. Ford clearly has perfected it better because it's in the European Rangers now. The same system. If you look at a Ranger, you lift the rear seat up, you can see where Ranger's just itching to have a battery pack put in there. I mean, obviously you're going to lose some cargo room if they were to do that in a Bronco. But they're not playing for this current administration. They're looking at future where we're at 10, 15 years down the road, and they're going to have to adapt at one point. So why not go ahead and get ready for it?
Yeah, I definitely think that they need to have it on the Bronco Sport at least.
100%.
And I've kind of told them that because we'd talked to engineers at the Bronco Sport reveal thing, and I think you guys went to that too. But we talked to them, and they said, nope, we won't have it until there's no compromise on its capabilities. And I'm like, but half of I'd say less than half. There's a very small portion of the Bronco Sport owners that actually take theirs off road. And I'm like, so I don't understand why you couldn't do it on all the trim levels and say, hey, it's not available on Sasquatch, it's not available on Badlands, but hybrid's available on Big Bend. It's available on the Heritage Edition and the Outer Banks. There's no reason why they couldn't do that.
Yeah, Ford enthusiasts is saying, EcoBoost engines made due to CAFE requirements that are done now. I mean, they're only done for the next 3 years. You got to remember that. And the automotive industry right now is in flux. I know everybody's happy V8s are able to come back and then emissions and all that stuff, but all it takes is for society to push the other way again, and that stuff's back. And we remember from 2021 when all of a sudden we had the 30 or the 2030 program of like everything's got to, 80% of your fleet need to be EV. They can push this stuff real quick. And, like I said earlier, manufacturers aren't thinking in the next 2 years. They're already 15 years out of where they want to be.
Yep. Usually when you see a next gen, there's already a team that's working on the next gen.
Oh, yeah.
From there.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I've seen brand managers that were like, yeah, I was on the original, like the original Maverick brand manager that I worked with, was like a year after that, he was gone. And it was a different brand manager came in, and he's like, yeah, he's working on the next gen project.
Oh, yeah.
So he was the one that actually started and brought the Maverick in, and then he's moved on to work with the next one. Right.
Well, I think too, like out of all like the Maverick Sport, Bronco Sport, and all that, I mean, they've got a refresh coming. I mean, I know that we've already went through a mid-cycle refresh, but you're only what 2 to 3 years maybe before the next generation of that vehicle pops. So we're about to hit good times again with all the rumors and stuff popping in, especially for Bronco. I mean, it's due. And I'm excited for it, but also I think they've made a really good vehicle that Jeep gets 10 years out of a platform. I think me and you were talking about this a little bit in Michigan, that you thought it would happen quicker than what Jeep does, but they want to squeeze every bit of profit out of these things as possible. And what a profit machine, because there's no way at a $60,000 to $80,000 Bronco, there's not $20,000 in that thing. So they're making, obviously dealers need to make a little bit, but they're making a lot of money on that product.
Yeah. Yeah. And Bronco isn't following the same rule as the others. There's, like your F-150 Super Duties, and Maverick is following with that, where that's, you have a refresh in 3 years, next gen every 6. And like F-150 follows with that suit. Super Duty typically, like a lot of people thought Super Duty was going to be a new, like a redesign or a refresh this last year. And I'm like, no, 23, 24. I mean,
right.
You still are one more year
But
away.
even I was kind of like, aren't we due for it? And then I was like, oh, wait, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
No. So, I mean, but Bronco doesn't follow along with that.
Right.
And Bronco
follows its own rules.
Now, Bronco Sport has, at least it did, right?
Well, how did Mustang go? I don't remember when this previous generation Mustang, how many years did they squeeze out of it?
It's usually a 3 and 6. They usually keep that rule. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I mean, Escape hasn't always, but it did this last time because we did research on that one, and there was a year where it was just a couple. But Bronco is never. Bronco's been like, it's been all over the board because it was one of them was just 2 years before they redid it. Let's see, the first gen was like 11 years. So
Gen 2 was like 2 years.
Yeah.
It went real quick for some reason.
Yeah. So Bronco will, they're not gonna, they haven't really said that they're not following along with that. So you can't really try to guess on that. Can't like you can some of the other models. So,
yeah. So like average cycle for Mustangs 3 to 4 years for refreshes, but then redesigns 4 to 6. So sometimes they won't do a refresh; they'll do a redesign, but that's very rare.
Well, in the current Mustang too, it's basically the same platform as before. So,
right.
Yeah. I mean, yep. So like F-150, 27 F-150 will get is it a redesign or refresh year? I can't remember.
Refresh, right? No, redesign.
It might be a redesign year
because they refreshed with the tailgate, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway,
they either redesigned with a new tailgate or they refreshed.
Yeah. But
Raptor R, you remember Raptor R was like real cool. I mean, obviously it was late for Raptor, and then it's like a year and a half later, it's like, oh, we got a new looking, the new grill and everything in it.
Yeah, because Raptor was kind of weird because it didn't, like the rest of the F-150 redesigned or did a refresh, and the Raptor didn't until it was a next gen, and then it did right along with it. It's like, oh wow, that one's kind of, I think that got stale there for a little bit because of that, because they didn't do a refresh like the rest of the model did.
Yeah.
Tim, I got two questions for you. So, because we don't get to do this much on the line, but so currently the current administration said, hey, they just today came out and said, all your DEF stuff, your DEF for diesels, oh, you don't have to go into limp mode anymore. They're like trying to really push, like, hey, manufacturers, like they're so over the top about going the other way now. I hope it doesn't go too crazy, but where are you at with what's going on with diesel?
I haven't really been paying much attention to it, to be honest. I don't know.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm bringing these hard-hitting questions.
You got me unprepared on that one. No, I don't know. I mean,
because you're truck centric, right? Like as far as your dealership, you guys move big trucks, right?
Yeah.
But we're also a farming community that needs the diesel, and so I don't think Kansas does anything. So we don't really pay attention to that unless it's like EV oriented.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
well, it came out today that federally that they were going to the current administration is like, oh, let's really relax that. Trucks don't need to go into limp mode anymore. Just let them basically run without DEF in it. I thought it was quite interesting. I'm not a fan of DEF by any means. I think it does more harm to the motors and stuff than good. But I was curious since you were out in Kansas and
so for those of us that don't know, what is DEF?
It's an emissions fluid. So what happens is the catalytic converter builds up carbon. Okay. I don't know the whole technical, but it helps displace the bad CO2 going out. It keeps it in the catalytic converter, and then it goes into a regen mode where it burns all that off, basically.
Okay.
You'll see it on you probably have a lot of farm communities with DEF pumps, and you'll see it'll crystallize all over the pumps. It's a mess. But it started in 12, I think, is when they mandated it.
I don't remember. I don't know. We'll see. It's like you said, every administration will do something different, but that's why automotive, they have to be ready to shift, or because, the next one, they probably care about the environment. So they want to, or whatever.
That's
not that they don't. I'm just saying, I think he's wanting to basically say, he's more of a business person, and so he's like, let's let people just get what they want, Yeah.
Hey, also big news was California's trying to regulate speed limits through manufacturers now too. They're really pushing that. And boy, we're about to have a big auto mess because this current administration's itching to sue everybody for everything. Then you get like states like California who are itching to buck up to anything that the current administration does. And then the poor manufacturers are caught in the middle of like, look, guys, once again, they plan 15 years ahead. I can't do this. He said, she said stuff all the time. Like, just somebody make a rule. Of course, the Trump administration has done away with saying, hey, California, you don't get to make the rules anymore as far as emissions and stuff. So we have I think for manufacturers, especially somebody like Ford who sells a ton of trucks, boy, we've got some good days ahead for news, Tim.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
It'll be fun. Yeah. I mean, he
doesn't really get into the political stuff unless Ford's making a note on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't talk politics, but it is currently whatever side you're on, they all want to fight each other.
Yeah.
Right. It does affect, what automotive, based on the, politics dictates, what automotive manufacturers have to do, right? If they have to, Ford was kind of in line with that because I know the past administration, there was, I think, is Chevy or something that they couldn't make a certain amount of Super Duties because they didn't hit their number for the EPA
so they had,
or whatever.
Yeah, they had the credits, the emission credits or whatever it was. Yeah.
That's why Ford pushed the Lightning and Mach-E so much, and that Maverick probably helped a lot,
right?
Because that helped them with that, so that we didn't have to see the suffer of the Super Duty.
Is Chevy the one that had the muscle car that moved over to electric? Like they said, no more gas.
That's Stellantis. I'm thinking of Dodge.
Yeah, you're thinking of the Challenger Charger platform.
Because take that out of the equation, you can sell probably.
Well, now they've brought the straight six in that, and you'll see a V8 in it within the next 2 years too.
Well, I remember them saying that they pretty much made that to where they could go either way on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was that car was always planned to be their Hurricane engine in it as well, but you would have thought you'd brought out the exciting one, then brought in the EV one. But Stellantis this is not long McArthur Dodge. This is the long McArthur Ford. But
no. But although we've tried to get into a couple manufacturers that aren't in Salina, we don't have a Kia dealer or a Hyundai dealer here, and
we also don't have a Tesla dealer.
We don't want one of those, but no. But the other two, we've actually, we've talked to Kia, we've talked to Hyundai, and they're like, well, but your area doesn't dictate us putting a dealership, there. And we're like, well, Ford doesn't either, but we sell 300 times what they say we should.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
because according to them, according to our demographics, we should sell 50 Fords, and we sell 120. So it's like we'll do the same thing for Kia.
Right.
So it's like it's all about marketing.
We are a considered small town.
Yeah.
But our volume is metro.
Yep. We outsell. Last 2 years we outsold the Metro Wichita dealers and Kansas City dealers, Kansas dealers technically.
Yes.
In Kansas, we're the #1 dealer in Kansas, but we're not the biggest town and by any means.
Oh no.
Well, my next Ford is going to have to be bought through you, because I tried to buy through all the connections of Ford. I've bought through Allie, through Laura in Illinois. So I'm just slowly making my way to the Midwest. So I'll have to buy one from Long McArthur.
And then you can come visit.
Well, you better get you a Maverick trimmer while you get a chance. I can't order one right
that.
now.
That was a bummer of a news.
I don't know. There's no confirmation of that necessarily, but you can't order one right now. Mm-hmm. And haven't scheduled one in the last two or 3 months. So they weren't going to be scheduled any.
Was that, they don't really break down sales figures of each trim like that, do they?
No.
I wonder if it was just a little too pricey.
They'll tell you production numbers or what their planned production is. And I know that was like, 8 or 9%. Like they told us that at the beginning of the year. But they were like, hey, we need trimmer orders. Like right now, this week, the first time I saw them say they'll tell dealers, so they'll say required. So, and I've mentioned that to some of our members. There's certain builds that we have on our lot, that custom builds. It's because Ford requires dealers to take certain amount of orders. So they actually, in the Maverick this week, was the first time I've seen it, where they actually said, Lobo orders required. So they're making dealers order Lobos.
Well, you know what's funny about that? All the dealerships in my area that I'll kind of look at, they all have Lobos, but they put them in their showroom and they're overpriced these things. It's like, dude, this is not a Mustang GTD or anything. Like, you don't need to.
I got a deal for you. How about $4,000 off right now?
Dang.
And this weekend you can get 4.9 for 72 months. Come on, Dave.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I do. Would you take a slightly abused Raptor?
Yeah. Sure.
Lobo though, if they've just done a little bit better colors with it, some more 80s, 90s, early 90s vibe colors, and I know they're playing it safe, but you need to go all out with that.
You got the white, the black, you got the gray, and then the blue. Blue's the only exciting one because I feel like it goes well with the interior.
Yeah,
but
you get the electric lime.
We should. Why not making it the lime color on the outside?
Oh, 100%, man. And it goes with all the stripes that you would like to do with the neons and stuff. People would, the generation now, man, they love that stuff.
The graffiti
look. We could have done that. Yeah.
You guys were at the press event, right? Y'all were in Detroit for that launch. Yeah. Like they put it against the wall that it should be against, and the truck didn't feel like the wall.
Yeah. It felt like they were trying to do like 3-dimensional graffiti, like the truck's supposed to pop off the wall. It didn't pop at you as much. Like the graffiti behind it was too distracting.
Yeah. I will say they're fun to drive though. They are fun to drive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and a lot of people, kind of badmouth the fact they didn't put a 2.3 liter in it or something like that. I'm like, but the way that 2.0 with advanced all-wheel drive and the way they have it shifted and geared with the 7-speed,
This truck is
it drives
also
pretty good.
lighter than some of your other vehicles that you're putting those engines into. It's going to whip it around.
Now, will the 2.3 be great and more fun to drive? Yes, but does it need it? No. I mean,
Right.
I don't.
My son who went to my son who went to WRX so bad, I called him when I was on the drive event of that, and I was like, dude, this is what you need. It gives you a truck bed. It's still sporty enough that you can have a lot of fun with it. I was like, and it's more affordable than the WRX is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of a big fan of because it wasn't really highlighted. At the media event we did, it was a 702A is what they kind of showed you there. They didn't show you the 402A, and we knew because he showed me the order guide at the embargoed event. It said, now there's going to be a 402A, but it's not available for like another month or so. And I'm like, oh. So when I did that, because I could tell by the order guide that there was something amiss because there was a 702A equipment was over here listed. I'm like, okay, so there's going to be a more base trim of this. So when I did my video on the build and price, that's the way I did it. So I kind of had put that out there before they actually released the 402A. We thought that was a way to go because for one, you have all the performance from that trim level or the package or whatever, but you don't have, the luxury part of that. So basically, I always said 702A is basically your Lariat Lobo.
Yeah.
Whereas 402A is like your XLT. Well, if you have all the performance, the brakes, all the everything else, but you're lighter, it's probably going to be quicker. So I kind of was pushing that, but that didn't help us sell any.
Yeah.
I tried. But I don't know. It's a pretty cool truck, but yeah. So
I got to drive it for the Maverick meetup. It did pretty well.
Did it do well in dirt and mud?
Yeah, it did.
It rained like the day before, so we took everybody on dirt roads. So we had the Lobo out there, brought it back for wash. I felt so bad for wash line.
No, and
there you go.
I went back there and I was like, hey, I'm not just going to drop this off and walk away. Like, can I spray this off for you? Like, I was in wash line. I know how to do this. Like, I know how crappy it is to get one of these. Like, I will wash this for you. He's like, no, you're good. But thank you for offering and understanding and not just dropping and running and pretending like you have no idea what's going on.
It handles in the mud.
Well, that was my first job in the auto industry. I was a detail guy. I had to go in and wash all the new cars, and I worked for a Toyota dealership. And I remember the used cars they would bring back, and you're just, oh man, you're like, oh my God, this is their car. This is awful that you have to clean out. And oh man.
So yeah, I started doing that at 16. As soon as I had my full driver's license, I could do that. And my husband was my manager back then. So yeah, started there. And moved my way up through the dealership. I've worked in every department. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, we had to do Lincoln cleans, and they would come back or rentals. Oh my gosh, rentals were the worst because people would live in them for like a week.
Yeah.
We had one, there was ketchup on the ceiling. I'm like, how does this happen? And now I have my own kids, and I'm like, I know how that happens.
Well, Dave, if you follow the live stream, Expedition order banks open up Wednesday or Friday. And for 26, I don't know if there'll be anything new, but Maverick, maybe the 25th. That's
maybe. I was sad that I did not. But I was sad I didn't get invited to that press drive, man. Because I really wanted to drive that vehicle.
Yeah, I didn't either, but I drive.
Sue asked me if we were going to be there. I had Sue on, and she's like, "So am I going to see you in Kentucky?" I'm like, "What's in Kentucky?" She's like, "Expedition."
What is a disappointing if I was in media? I am, but I mean, if I was like in a position like you, right, where I don't get to drive the Ford vehicles every day, that those didn't come out until after they're already out at dealers. I mean, they've been doing those drives afterwards. It's like because you got invited to the Bronco Sport and the Lobo one,
and you were like, I have one here.
And I didn't get invited. So I'm like, fine, I'll just go do my own test drive. And that's what we did because we had them here.
Yeah.
And Expedition's the same way. I mean, I drive one. My wife drives one every day, so their own drive and everything. So, but yeah. Anyway, so we'll see. I don't think there's going to be a major anything major on the Maverick for this year. It's not a redesign year or anything. They just had one of those. So, I mean, I don't know. I have a gut. I think trimmer will go away, but I don't know. So we'll see.
On Expedition?
On the
Maverick.
And then Expedition, we might finally get the device holders that we were told we were going to have it for late availability that became non-available. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, trimmer on Maverick just doesn't make sense. After the launch, I loved the vehicle and would have loved to buy one till I saw the price, and I was just like, that just doesn't make sense. I can get a Ranger, 4-wheel drive Ranger cheaper, and it's more capable from the get-go.
Yeah.
If you could, like when the last year when you get it as an XLT and it was a trimmer package, made some sense. But I had one for a while, and I can tell you that thing was fun to drive. It really was. I mean, the advanced all-wheel drive system, basically it's the same one that's in the Badlands Bronco Sport, is what it had in there. Man, it really would with that 2.0 and that all-wheel drive system. You could put it in sport mode or whatever, and it would just, I mean, you could take off in that. I mean, I felt like it had a lot of power, and it was fun to drive. It delivered the power, where it needed to. And that advanced all-wheel drive system is really underrated. And in the Bronco Sport, like the Badlands, that is a good system. So, we see Melissa Clark, testing it at Rebel Rally every year, and she'll go out in the dunes and she drives the dunes with it. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's a good system, but yeah.
The only thing that's different is your truck bed, which if you're doing like Rebel Rally, you're weighted down already with everything that you need to pack. But if you're taking that out in the dunes, I could see some potential, or anywhere really, but I could see some potential there with an empty truck bed.
But a lot of the, like we had said last week, the Maverick people, most Maverick customers don't take it out. That's not what they're getting. Like I said, at that point, if you're really wanting to do some off-roading and all that, you can get a Maverick FX4 and you can go off-road with it. There's nothing wrong. Yeah. Get the all-wheel drive 2.0 FX4, and that's just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't need that advanced 4-wheel drive for most of the off-roading you're going to do. If you're wanting to do some hardcore off-roading, you're going to go Raptor or a Ranger, that's where it's at. So
yeah.
I don't know if you guys were aware, but Rebel is looking for journalists and stuff to come cover the event. So it might be
really.
Oh yeah. You go to their website. I think they have an application for it right now, Sarah.
I thought they had a Toyota covering that.
They're opening. I think they're looking for new blood
Toyota
to come.
Doesn't
get excited.
Always.
I would like because we kind of watched it, followed it last year with. We're pretty good friends with Melissa and everything. In fact, we're gonna go off roading with them in a couple weeks, Labor Day weekend. And she's got interviews with a lot of the teams. But so I was like, I've watched some of their videos and all that. I'm like, I'd really like to do the interviews where they interview the people, the drivers. I think that'd be fun to do.
Yep. I'm going to be reaching out to my contacts within.
Who's going to watch your kids for 2 weeks?
I think it's 3 days at a time is what they're doing.
Perfect.
Oh,
that's perfect. Give me a little bit of taste of this.
Well, and I think some of what they do too is they actually go out onto the course. Maybe that's what they're looking for, is people to go out on the course.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
And not that, because they usually have the Toyota team that does the interviews and all that, and it's their sponsored, but it's for the whole week. It's always the same people, but they're probably looking for the media out on the course to be fun too. So,
because I actually have the email for the lady that's the competitor liaison. I bet she would know who to hook us up with.
Well, I'll try to send y'all the application because I have that, because I Kelly doesn't know it, but I signed her up for it.
Maybe Kelly and I can go out.
There you go.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. Anyway,
yeah, Henry says he wants to see you at the King of Hammers, Tim.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I would like to go to that. Nope, Henry's out in North Carolina, but he's inland more. So people in North Carolina, take cover of the thoughts. You're not East Tennessee, are you? But East Tennessee
No,
is
I'm
like
Nashville.
right
Yeah,
on the Carolina border.
Mm-hmm.
But
I was in East Tennessee this past weekend though.
yeah, so we were kind of talking about that. We're trying to get our marketing team to an off rodeo.
Mhm.
And so we were looking at going to the Tennessee one. And so he was like looking for flights to Nashville. I said, why are you looking for Nashville? He's like, well, to go to the off rodeo. I said, that's at Knoxville.
Man. Yeah, and you're
So that's
literally
like
there.
4 hours, almost 3.
Probably when you're landing, you see the course.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you could. I said, and that one's really the easy one. But so
she's the one I was.
we're looking at going
texting
to
with.
Nevada. We're working it up. So we're getting.
The
We've
Nevada one was good. I did the Raptor version, but it was pretty good.
I did the half day at Nevada, and they gave us a little bit of Raptor stuff too, but not on the big Raptor course. We just got the little. I'm like, I wanted to go out, do the jumps.
Oh yeah, well,
Right?
so that's man, that is so far out there. It's easily an hour to get out to where, and that's if you're just going to get out where you've got to do all that. We're in Raptor Valley. So worth it though. Even though it's 2 small courses right beside each other where the jump and all that is. I like jumping, but that course didn't do anything for me. But it was more the high speed Ultra 4. I think it was I forget which course it was, but that was where it was at for me. Like once you can really rip into them and get them a little sideways and go through all the silt and stuff, that was so much fun out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a Raptor experience I need to use, I guess.
Right.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to try to do that. So I think our rental company has purchased enough Broncos that we can get each person to be able to drive their own Broncos. So we'll have our own probably. So that might be fun. We'll see.
Yeah.
Looking into it.
So is it the media liaisons or what are they looking for?
I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
I'll send you the info.
Send me the info. I'll message Andrea.
Hey, and she knows enough of have like a lot of the drivers now. So,
Right.
Maybe that's not a good thing though.
No, like I have
You don't want to show any favoritism.
on my list. I have like, what's her name? Bailey Campbell, Andrea Bullard, Emily Miller, and a couple of others that are part of Rebel, like staff. Not competitors, but staff. And so I could reach out to them. And then I have so many. I have 4 Rebel Rally interviews so far. I'm hoping to get 1 to 2 more. So hopefully.
Yep.
Henry wants you to go race King of Hammers. Let's go do it with him.
Yeah. See, of
Are
course.
you using your Bronco, Henry?
Right.
Is that you're offering for him to come and do they have navigators in those teams?
Yeah.
So Henry's going to drive and you're going to navigate?
There you go. Yeah. It's really we should thank Henry because now every time we see water crossings, Barb drives through them like she's Henry. She flies through them like which we got a chance to do a little of that in the dunes, which was kind of fun. But yeah, I said we did the dunes and you guys took us out. That was a blast. So appreciate you guys taking the evening doing that with us. It was a lot of fun hanging out and doing the dunes. But I like the Colorado trails, the rock crawling. I like that a little bit. That's more my speed of figuring out my course and everything.
We gotta get you up Hell's Gate and all that in Moab.
Dunes are my speed. Like that's totally what I want to do.
Well, and some of those, we're getting a pretty good lift. We got 2-inch lift, but yeah, some of that stuff you just gotta have. We got enough of the bash plates and everything, so we should be good.
Henry says, "Sure." Can his heart take it?
I don't know.
Let me go do a Rebel U, Henry, and I'll come navigate for you.
Anyway.
I got you.
Oh, well, thanks for joining me and chatting a little bit about Bronco stuff. And I always like talking Bronco.
Hope I didn't derail it too bad.
No,
it's fun to get off topic sometimes.
Hey, I'm posting this in your comments there. I'm posting a link to the article if people want to know what Stampede was like. I wrote an article tonight about that.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. So if they want to check out Stampede, I encourage people whatever you hear, if you're a Bronco person, whatever you heard about Stampede this year, ignore it. We're in a weird economy. Attendance was a little bit down. That doesn't mean you don't go. Aftermarket will be out there supporting that event, and I will be too. So, but there's room for improvement. So we'll say that. But thank you for having me on.
I'd love to go to that. Did you post that link in there?
Yeah, I just did. I don't know if it may be blocked. Who knows?
We'll have to make sure. I'll let Ridge go ahead and accept that if that's requires anything. But anyway, I'm not seeing it in StreamYard, but we'll make sure we get it in there. Yeah, check out all of Dave's stuff because he talked a little bit about these additions. Plus, he talked Sunday night, right? Yeah, Sunday night about the Bronco Stampede and everything. But yeah, those events, I just like going to all of those events though. And so it seems like all the good vendors are out on the East Coast out there. Mountain Metal, IAG, they all make it to those events out there. Because like they won't make it to Supercell in Colorado. I won't, a lot of those vendors won't make it there.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, no, I mean it's weird. So it used to be in the off-road world, all the vendors were West Coast. So they would never come East Coast because it was just too expensive. And now it seems like there's a good balance of because Turn Off-Road was here and they came from California, Southern California. So but anyways, if on the article, go to allterrainnation.com. It's that simple. You'll find the article. But we post up. I try to post up once a week, but it doesn't always happen.
Yeah. So anyway, got a couple of questions here, but yeah, thanks for joining me. I'll answer these questions here, and I'll, of course, don't forget to check out all of Dave's stuff and on All Terrain Nation and
I appreciate it.
ATN Off Road and All Terrain Nation podcast and all those things. I don't know how many channels do you have.
I keep creating more, man. If there's a nation behind it, it's probably me.
Well, I had my Ford Video Guide channel that I haven't posted in a long time on because it seems like it's either, well, do I post it there? Do I post it as a Built Wild Wednesday? Because that seems like, because that channel is more on the Bronco stuff. And so it seems like, well, I'll just do it on all McArthur's because I'll get more views from it there. And so it seems like that's kind of what I'm doing. So I haven't done a lot over there, but I do need to do a video. I want to do a video on what are the things that I would, I've added, I don't know if you know this, but I've added like $24,000 worth of ads to my Bronco.
Wow.
So when you include the hefty Roush package that is overpriced, but that one there, if you include that, so I want to do a video on things that I would do again and things that I wouldn't do again.
Right.
So I want to do a video on that, like some.
And would Roush package be in a part of that?
I wouldn't do the Roush package again.
Yeah,
I would do the cold air intake and
partnered with them. The Frontier just got a Roush package.
Oh yeah,
so, yeah. It's like pretty much the same thing. You get a couple things and you overpay for everything else.
Well, yeah, you're paying for those graphics. So
ours expensive.
There are things like I don't even think those wheels are available unless you get in the package. I don't know, but I do the cold air intake and exhaust again. Actually, Rough Country's got some pretty good exhaust right now.
I have a good interview coming up with Rough Country on ATN Off Road.
I heard you talking about that. I don't know if it's one of your videos or your live stream where you're talking about Rough Country. And, I've got to tell you, I've been trying to tell people that Rough Country is, I don't know. I've got a lot of Rough Country stuff and I'm
in my interview with them, we discussed that they had a time period where they were not thought of as like quality parts, but they've moved on past that and they're really doing a lot. And I like it. And when we were at Supercell, I'll say this, I know you're trying to leave. There was a couple that came up to me at Supercell. They had a shock break on them, a Rough Country shock. They were going to be stuck at their campsite at Supercell. They called the company overnighted them the part, never charged them for it. Like they took care of them. Like, and I know some big name companies that you would have been a month, 2 months before you'd ever seen anything. So to me, they're aware of like what their former reputation was about. And they're willing to be like, nope, take care of them. Don't want to hear it.
Well, and they're producing some pretty cool stuff now. I mean, you mentioned the fender flares. I'm not a huge fan of the fender flares that go out into the door on the rear door. I know it's kind of weird thing for me, but I'm not a big fan of those. But man, those fender flares actually look pretty good, and they're kind of have a squared off look but they could still go on the round fender, which is cool. And you can get them painted except for Area 51.
Yep.
That was not one of the colors I have.
Right.
I looked at that, but no, I mean, they have, I mean, we run I have their shocks now for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years October. Not had any issues. I love them. It's the Vertex with the adjustable reservoir. And we have their winch, which I haven't had to use, but it looks good. Their light bar on the winch, which I just switched out to the amber one. So I got
Right.
my amber light after all.
Mhm.
And I got the tailgate reinforcement. I got a bunch of other things that aren't like performance, but yeah, their suspension's pretty good. And we've actually put on a lot of our builds. I know Niles has the same shocks that I have on his F-150. He's got the Vertex shocks, and yeah, I mean, one of the things that we always look for is we look for companies that are willing to stand behind their stuff, and we feel like that it's good quality. And so if we're gonna sell something then and back it, then I kind of trust that. So our aftermarket department, Blake, he goes through and vets that all out, and he says, when he saw it's been about 3 or 4 years now where he's seen that turnaround in their company and says, I'm going to start carrying some rough country stuff. And we started adding their exhausts to, I think our Trimmer R package on the Super Duty has their exhaust, and it's a little thing. It's like, that looks kind of tiny, but man, it sounds good. It doesn't sound like it looked like the Roush one's a little bigger, and this is smaller. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of small. Like, let's start it up. And it's like, wow, that sounds good. So,
Right.
and so they have exhaust. They're really getting into it. So, and yeah, so I've been looking forward to seeing that video. So, but yeah, we're actually gonna have some of the rough country stuff. I'm gonna get a hero card at Supercell. We're gonna do a booth, and then we're going to up in Colorado here in a couple weeks, and we're gonna have a booth, and I'm gonna do a hero card with some of the things that I've added and talk about the rough country stuff and that we're a rough country dealer and such like that. And and I think in the Bronco community, it's starting to get around. There are more and more people that I'm seeing rough country stuff on. Some of it's just they're kind of more accessories than it is the performance stuff. I noticed, like the tailgate reinforcement, the LED lights, that kind of stuff. Maybe more of that than it is their performance suspension and all that. But I think it's getting around. The word's getting around. So anyway,
Well,
yep. Well, look forward to that. And thanks for joining me tonight.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'll
Y'all
to
have a
catch
good
you.
night.
All right.
Bye, Tim. Bye, Sarah.
See you later.
Bye.
All right. We got a couple questions here because one of them I do want to talk about. Rob posted in there, but we'll answer all of them.
Mm-hmm. So some of them are just comments.
Okay, we'll just go through these. So Steve said 22 Black Diamond. Only thing I don't like is the smaller front axle with no standalone axle upgrade. So that's the open differential, probably is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You go Sasquatch and you get the locking differential.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Ford enthusiast.
As long as they don't get rid of the circular headlights.
Oh yeah, right. I think that's got to stay.
It's
right?
iconic. So last week, I went up to your house to grab packages, and then I needed to take one back to Mom across town, and I saw the circular headlights, and I'm like, that's a Bronco. I bet it's Dad. And then I passed by you, and I saw your stickers on the back. Yep. I'm like, yep, that was Dad.
Right.
But I know circular lights, it's a Bronco.
Right. If you could order that package, Tim, I would make a trip back to put on my sport. We talked about that package.
Yeah.
The Silver
Silver
Lake
Dune.
Sand Dunes
Yeah.
package. Yeah. But we could, you'd be amazed. Like I said, we're working with our Sign Pro to do the vinyl wrap on ours, and they can pretty much, if you show them what you want and what you'd like if we showed them a picture of that in the close-ups, they could pretty much replicate that.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, they could get them printed for you, and we could send it to you if you wanted to put on yourself or know somebody that could.
Yeah.
So in fact, they're printing ours, and actually our aftermarket manager is going to put it on for me
As a favor.
so yeah, as a favor. So all right, how's the Maverick Lobo selling?
We kind of went over that.
Yeah, not great. Yeah. And then Rob said, have you picked trails for Supercell yet? So So
I think
what?
he's planning to be at Supercell.
Yes, he's going to be there. I know that Steve P's going to be there too. You mentioned you go out with us as well. Steve P's going to be there. Let's see. I don't know who else is going to be there, but no, we plan. So here's what we're going to do. We will not be there Wednesday. We will be arriving Wednesday night. So we're going to go up. My wife and I are going to go up Labor Day weekend and do some off-roading with some customers of ours and friends in their Strop Bronco, as well as with Brian and Melissa. So we're going to hit some trails Saturday and Sunday. And then because Barb can't be there, it's just Supercell. So we decided, hey, let's go out and hit some trails then before Supercell during Labor Day weekend, since we have Monday off. And so we're going to do that Labor Day weekend. But then so we're going to be driving back Monday. And then Jeff is coming out with me. And we're going to drive out Wednesday and get there Wednesday night. And so we'll be hitting the trails Thursday, Friday, and then be at the show Saturday. That's really the big day we're going to have our booth up. Yeah. But we'll be there in the mornings, Thursday, Friday morning. And then we will, other than that, I think we're going to hit the trails. So Friday was the day we're going to do like a member trail, like people that I want to keep it very small group. Maybe half a dozen at the most.
Should I get you a sign up sheet made?
No. I want a small group. For one, that's the liability. If you're following me, I might have to have them fill a disclaimer. I'm not responsible for any damage done to your Bronco.
A sign up sheet would have like their phone number and their email, like contact information.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna do. So really, the trail doesn't have a name that we're doing, because it's a
secret trail.
It's not on the map.
It's a secret trail.
Well, Henry's still in here. He drove it last year with me.
Oh, is it one of
It's the one. It's going up. Basically, we're going to drive up to the top of Cumberland Pass, but we're not taking the switchback away.
So, are you taking a Brian route?
Yes. is a trail that Brian told me about. Just past the cemetery. We're going to go up that way to the top of that. So we'll drive across Cottonwood Pass over to Taylor Park, over to Tin Cup, and then we're going to go ahead and hit the trail and get up there to the top. There's where probably people bring their own sack lunch, eat, and we'll eat up the top, and then we'll do the switchbacks back down, and then hopefully see some moose. We'll see, and then hit the cemetery on the way back, and then maybe the Abbeville.
Yes.
Gold mines. Not gold mines, coal mines.
Cool.
The mines that are there that are still hopefully in Abbeville. So if you guys haven't seen that, we'll do that. So I think a couple different, for one, a scenic way that nobody really does up there. It's not, like I said, it's not a trail, secret trail. We're going to take that one. And yep. Now on Thursday, I think we're going to do 10 Cup because Jeff, again, first time going out to Colorado, and you got to hit 10 Cup. It's kind of the one we're going to go.
I drove 10 Cup.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, we're going to do.
That's kind of like your beginner.
Yep. And I'll have him probably drive up on the Cumberland Pass so that I can navigate, because I want to make sure there's a certain spot where it like divides. And we actually went the wrong way once, so we had to come back and go. So I don't want to miss that when we go. So I'll navigate a little bit on that trail.
Sounds like you need a navigator.
So that we make sure we go the right way. So he'll be driving on that one, and then I want to let him drive 10 Cup too on the first part of it. I'll drive it back down. But we'll do 10 Cup, and we're going to stop. There's a Cascade waterfall we're going to stop at on the way up there too. So again, another reason why I like to go in a small group is that if I want to stop, I won't feel bad. So come along if you want.
Well, you're not stopping.
Going to go at my pace, and plus I don't go real fast.
Right.
Like I have a lot of people that will pass us, and we let them pass us because I mean I'm not gonna if we're doing this, I'm not going. I'm gonna go that fast. I'll slow down. So
with a bigger group, you also have to, when you have spotting spaces, it takes a longer time to get through with bigger groups.
Now the one we're doing, I don't even think I engaged the rear locker.
Right.
It's not. It's fun. It's not. I mean,
know.
I think I didn't use the rear.
Hit a spot.
Yeah, I didn't use a rear locker, but I could have.
Right.
Like I'm like, if we had done it differently, most people probably would have used a rear locker.
Right.
It's just I didn't because of the control of the throttle response that I think we're pretty good at. But anyway, but yeah, it'll be fun. So that's that one. So if you want to join us, Rob, we'll get you all connected on that one. But yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
It was on my map. So he said it was on. So it's on a map, but it's not like if you look at some of the books that are in there, like the Fun Trucks books, it's not listed.
Right.
So yes, Henry remembers it. That was fun. That was a fun day because we did actually Slaughterhouse Gulch first before we did that. Oh, he said Mount Ontario was super
Ontario.
cool. Also sketchy above the tree line. I heard that because I thought about doing that trail once, and I heard it was a little technical. They say when they say a trail is technical, that means it's difficult.
You need to have
It takes
your
some-
technique down.
Yes. So it's a little more technical.
Right.
But anyway, so that's the plan. So Henry,
Yep.
wish you were going to be able to come, but we understand that you're not going to be able to be. But
Yeah.
that'll be fun. So we're going to start doing that at Super Cells we go to, is to lead a drive. But like I said, I want a small group. We're not going to have 20 Broncos behind me.
Right.
It's going to be half a dozen or whatever, and it's going to be people that aren't going to be mad if we go slow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell people that right now. So I also want people that kind of know.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of putting it out there for members or viewers, followers of the channel. So it'll be more of that than it will be. It's not going to be on the book. I haven't talked to Tom or anything. It's not going to be a trail led by anybody, and I don't have a dedicated time we're going to leave either. So people that want to go with us, we'll get going probably around 9 or 10, somewhere around there, and still get back in time. Should be still get back by 5. Yeah, so definitely if you want to go, Rob, definitely. I think it'll be fun. You can ask Henry. It was a fun trail.
Yeah, he's talking about it.
Yeah.
Views were incredible at 14,000 feet.
Yeah, it was, because if you've been to the Cumberland Pass and there's a way you go, there's a lot of switchbacks. You go up there. Well, the way we went, you're on the other side of that one mountain, and you see views you can't see from up there at the top. And it was incredible coming around there, and you're coming around and you're like, oh, where does this go? Because then you go up on top a little higher than what the peak is, or the summit is at Cumberland Pass. So that's actually, it's not a peak, but you know what I meant, the top of it there. Yeah. So anyway, definitely it'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. So we did the sand dunes. So Barbara and I did go to the sand dunes on our
4x4 trail
during an anniversary. There is a 4x4 trail. We didn't do the 4x4 trail. We didn't have time, but don't know if we'll have time to do that on the way back. But
I want to go out to Oklahoma.
We'll have to do that on a separate trip, because there's somebody that's actually purchased an F-450 from us that lives not too far from the Great Sand Dunes. He's got a campground. So at some point, what I'd like to do is go out there and stay at their campground. And he mentioned some 4x4 trails, and then go to the sand dunes and hit that 4x4 place. Yep. So I'll make that a separate trip probably and do that. So sounds like a lot of fun, but I'll connect with him. We should do that next summer.
Yeah.
There you go. So Rob's going to be there for Bronco. Other Broncos coming from Arkansas this year. That's awesome. Arkansas Bronco Club. Yeah, we don't have a Kansas Bronco Club going to be there.
Although
maybe we should just say where we are, the Kansas Bronco Club.
I mean, in the women's club, like I told you that one post where they posted the orange Bronco that we have right now. And they're like, this is at my local dealer right now. And I was like, hey, that's my local dealer. And a couple of other people were commenting. A lot of them are from Kansas in the women's Bronco club. So farm wives driving Broncos.
Maybe. So anyway. Yep. Yeah, Rob, we'll get with you. We'll talk more about that. We got a couple weeks before that, but we'll definitely get we'll get some more information and kind of plan on that for the Friday. Friday, I think, is when we're going to do that drive. So So hopefully
Yep.
you can do it with us. It'll be
Yeah.
fun. Yep. I was trying to figure out what all I want to do. I mean, there could be a lot of different groups doing 10 cup. But I want to do it with Jeff. We'll try to get out. We'll probably go out a little bit later than them, and we'll go and do 10 cup on Thursday.
Yeah.
Kind of more of a low key. I mean, if one or two wanted to come along, but like I said, we're going to stop at the Cascade Falls. There's a waterfall on the way to St. Elmo. So we're going to stop off and see that and check that out for a little bit before going on to St. Elmo. We'll stop there, look at the chipmunks, right? Got to see that and do all that. That's probably where we'll air down, because at that point we'll still have we won't have air down unless I do it at the campground. But I'll usually air down and just leave my tires at 26 pounds of pressure the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And
Don't try and feed the chipmunks unless you're ready for them to jump on you.
right. Yeah. If you don't like them, if you don't want them jumping on you, don't get food and just stay back and watch.
Yeah.
So
I didn't mind it.
she said she wants
And
to see
now
the
that I
waterfall.
have chickens, I really don't mind it.
It's like, that is the waterfall you saw that we stopped at. That's the same one. I don't know if you remember that. She was real nervous because I was trying to get down there close to the water. I remember that. So
Yeah. You know how often I grab one of my chickens, put it up my shoulder, and walk around?
the 10 cup night ride.
Ooh.
So I know somebody did that last year, and the Bronco behind them had all their lights on. So they were, but it was like,
Okay, that's the thing.
it's like, so I don't know if I want to do a night ride. I don't want people blinding me with their
I can barely
all their off-road lights.
I can barely handle driving home or on the highway at night with people driving up to me, because then like I'll purposely slow down a little bit so they get ahead of me, because I do not like the lights bother me and they distract me. So I wouldn't do well with that unless I'm tail gunner, which I will wholeheartedly volunteer for each and every time I'm on a trail. I will be tail gunner. So that would work. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I am. We might Sunday night, because we're not going back Sunday. We're going to stay, or Saturday. Sorry, Saturday we're going to stay, and then we'll probably eat dinner like we did last year.
Yeah.
With Brian and Melissa and such, and then I'm really thinking we might do a night ride to do the Four Corners evening ride.
Oh yeah.
As it's getting
That
not like at night, but as the sun's going
sunset.
down. Yes, we
A
get
nice
above the
little sunset
city
drive.
and get a sunset view. So that's
See, we wanted to take that because that's a pretty simple. It's not technically hard. It's a simple off-road trail.
no, it's a very easy trail, but the view would be great.
Yes.
So
I wanted to go do that, but we'd have to pack up 3 dogs, 2 kids, and I've heard it's a 4-hour trip. So
drive.
yeah, 4-hour drive.
I don't know. And say there was also a trail we did. Your mom and I did.
Or maybe it was like 2 hours or something, but he's like, that's too long with the dogs.
We did a trail. I can't remember what the name of the trail was, but it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
It was kind of easy. We were like, this is real easy. Then we got to a part where it's really narrow and it was kind of fun to go through. And then we found a part where she actually got a wheel lift around one corner.
Yeah.
And then I did have to spot in a couple of places, and that was a fun trail. And that was actually before you get to the campground.
Yeah.
Like going the other direction, like you're going back home.
Yeah.
It was over in there. I was like, because we were looking for something to do while we were waiting for them, because our friends weren't going to be there until the afternoon on that one day. And so we're like, well, we're not going to stay here all morning. Let's go find some trail we can do and be done by noon. And so we found one, and it was real fun. I'd do it again. So it was a blast. But a couple options there. So, which maybe even that would be a good one to do with members. So I'm not totally sold on the Cumberland Pass, but yet that's a fun one.
Yep.
That'd be an all day thing. I mean, we could do the other one, which would be a half a day, but yep.
Well, it is 9:16.
Nope. We've been talking for a while, but
Been good talks.
Yep.
We've had lots of fun tonight.
All right. Well, that's that. That's a wrap. And next week we should be talking changes to, at least if nothing else, the Expedition 26 model year, what's changed. And we'll probably talk about the Maverick as well. And who knows, maybe Bronco Sport. I don't know when the order is going to open up for that. So I should make a send an email over to the brand manager for Bronco Sport and find out for sure on that.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Well, that's all I have. Got anything else?
No, not really.
All right. Well, see, did you notice that we lowered the camera so that the comments didn't block you? See,
I did notice
don't
that.
block your face now. Anyway, all right. All right. Well, hope you guys have a great week this week. And yeah, got a fun video tomorrow on the Built Wild Wednesday. And then hopefully we'll have a expedition video for you guys on Friday night. And then, yeah. So we're looking for some fun videos in next week. So,
yeah.
All right. I think that's it. Well, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. This is a wrap for episode 205. Stay positive. Be kind to one another.
And be kind to yourself.
We'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.